What's going on, guys? David Falla here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another tutorial. On today's video, we are going to be doing a texture crop top with a mid compressed fade. The first thing we're going to do is separate the top from the sides, and I like to pay attention to the growth pattern. I want to see what the hair wants to do, and I want to section my hair in that direction. You can see the client has cowlicks, so I'm making sure I'm sectioning those cowlicks out just to make sure that I'm cutting the wrong direction and then I have a problem later. Now we are going to create our block graduation. This is going to be kind of that section that separates the fade from the top. This is going to depend on whatever you are trying to do. In this case, I want to do a mid fade and the back is going to be lower just because that's what fits the head. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm creating this guide all around. Now I'm going to wet the hair on top. Make sure the hair is always wet when you're going to cut with scissors. And now we are separating, creating a profile section right in the center. How you guys can see, this is going to dictate how the top is going to look and the shape that we are trying to achieve. In this case, I'm going to cut something a little bit more straight first, and then I'm going to round towards the front just because I want the front to be a little bit longer. Also, because it's a round shape, is the back is going to push everything a little bit more forward, keeping the hair going forward. Now I have a guide right in the center. I'm going to connect, and I'm just point cutting everything since I wanted to create a lot of texture. Just make sure that you can see the guide right in the center. This is going to allow you to make sure that everything is even the way you want it to be. Okay, now I'm going to use the diffuser in my blow dryer to dry the hair. I don't want to make it straight, I want to make it more curly, more with texture, with a lot of movement, so that's why I'm using a diffuser. Now we're going to go ahead and use a number 3 with the lever open, and this is going to connect with that guide that we created at the beginning. This is why it's important that you create this guide all around, so it's easier to connect. Now we connect block graduation on that side to the fade, to number 3 lever open. Now we're doing the same on the opposite side. We go ahead and close that lever so we can start down fading and removing everything, kind of creating a clean canvas so we can start fading from there. Now we are going to close our lever and we're going to create our 0 guide. This is going to be the guide that is going to be the lightest part of the fade. So make sure you place that line exactly where you want it. If it's lower, it's going to be more like a lower fade. If it's high, it's going to be more like a higher fade. So in this case, I would say probably 2 fingers from where we created our block graduation. Now I'm using the trimmer to remove all the hair from the bottom, and I did create a guide with the lever open of the machine about a finger's width. For some reason it didn't record, but that's exactly what it did. Now that we remove all the hair, we can start fading, and make sure that after that, if you want to pass the shaver, you can go ahead and pass the shaver, or you can leave it like this for a little bit more of a stubble look. Now we're going to start closing our lever to start removing the first guide, and we close the lever fully, then we start opening little by little and we go a little bit higher. This is why I like a clipper like this that has the clicky lever, because I know exactly where to place my lever, and it allows me to be even on both sides. This is, but all of you guys that don't know, this is the Babyliss FX, and this is one of my favorite clippers. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the same on the other side, starting with the lever open or close. It doesn't really matter as long as you understand what you're trying to do. Sometimes I start with lever open and close a little by little. Sometimes I start with lever close and open it little by little. The result is always the same. Just make sure you're consistent with whatever you're doing. Okay, now we are going to use our 1.5 with the lever open, and this is going to fade right under the number 3 that we passed previous steps. Once you're done with the lever open, then you're going to go ahead and close that lever. Okay, great. Now we are using a number 1 with the lever open, and we're gonna go ahead and continue down fading. That means that we're starting from the top to bottom. We are fading from like a bigger guard to a smaller guard. So in this case, now I'm in the number 1, lever open, and then as I'm gonna start closing that lever as I need. If I feel like I need to close the lever more, then I'm gonna close it. But if I feel like I don't have to close it all the way, then I will do that. Everybody's different, every hair is different, every fade is different. So you gotta make sure that you use your tools based on what you need. Sometimes I don't need to close the lever all the way because I notice that it's already fading when I want it. Sometimes I need to skip guards because I don't need all the guards. Sometimes I need to use all the guards, or I need to fully close that lever to erase all the lines. It's going to depend. I just wanna make sure that when you guys cut, you understand what you're doing so you don't make the mistake or maybe closing the lever when you don't need to and you make a hole. In this case, now we are using the 0.5 or the 1/16. And at the same concept, I'm opening the lever first and I'm gonna close that lever little by little as I need. Sometimes with this guard, I don't need to close the lever all the way because sometimes halfway is already good enough. But again, every hair is different, every client is different, every fade is different. Now we're gonna go ahead and shape up the client. In this case, we are not trying to push the shape up back too much, just a little bit, just to create that line that looks nice and crispy. And you can always go ahead and use your razor to make it even nicer and more defined. Now we are using a little bit of styling powder and also some clay. I like to use 245 indestructible clay. I'm gonna leave a link in the description with a discount code if you guys are interested. And that's the final result, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Any question, leave it on the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and like it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.